This is the kind of thing that just comes into my mind as I'm sitting here, waiting for my eventual move-out day next week, which, by the time you watch this, will have already happened. Funny how time works, isn't it? But I was sitting here, and I was thinking like, well, anime can be about anything. Or at least I like to think so. So what could I possibly watch that is somewhat similar to my current situation? Now, there's not much anime about the act of moving to a new apartment, but there are plenty of anime about the act of living in an apartment building. Now, I realize I'm living in an apartment now, but the new one is much nicer, I hope. We'll find out. Anyway, so surprise of all surprises when I notice one particular anime while packing up my shelf that I haven't watched yet that somewhat fits this scenario I have constructed in my brain. One Hidamari sketch. A slice of life about 4 high school girls who live in an apartment building. And so I thought, hey, why not? Ladies, gentlemen, and others, my name is Arcata, and welcome to Glass Reflection today. Hidamari sketch. Let's jam. So what's this show about? It's about nothing, but what about the story? Nah, forget the story. Who says you need a story? Welcome to the slice of life genre. Here's the pitch. It's a show about nothing. You fill it with characters, not story. You don't even need well-rounded characters, just characters. You put them in a setting and have them live their lives. Brilliant. So where is the entertainment value of a show about nothing? Not sure. Ask Jerry Seinfeld.
So we go into NBC, we tell them we got an idea for a show about nothing.
Exactly.
They say, what's your show about? I say nothing.
There you go.
I think you may have something here.
But I can say that there is a sort of charm about it. The sort of calmness to just see regular people living out their lives and interacting with each other. Now, in this case, we have 4 very specific Japanese art students who happen to live in an apartment building together right across from their school. Not the standard setting, but okay, it's not the first anime series that focuses on the individual lives of some Japanese high school students. It's not even a series that popularized the genre or changed how we look at it. It's a very quiet series in a lot of ways, kind of like how Lucky Star is, but without the backing of Kyoto Animation's art department. The only other major thing of note that I could think of about the story is that it is displayed to us out of order. Now, in the grand scheme of things, Hidamari Sketch is a very episodic show, and really the order doesn't matter. It's not like there's any ongoing continuity that you have to worry about. That said, it is still interesting that we could be talking about Christmas one episode, and then the next be dealing with summer heat. It's a nice change compared to the others in the genre, like say Azumanga Daioh, where the passage of time is clearly visible despite its similar, very episodic nature. So, since the show is about the characters, who are they anyway? Well, there is the quiet and shy Yuno, the over-enthusiastic Miyako, and their upperclassmen neighbors, the weight-obsessed Hiro and the dependable mangaka Sae. The interest is in their simplicity. They don't have complicated backstories or perplexing personalities that you have to spend the entire show trying to figure out and analyze. In fact, you get the gist of them from episode 1. So why are they interesting? Well, interesting might not be the best word to use here. What this show is like a lighthearted view on life. There is no heartbreak, no tragedies. We just have 4 characters who are living their lives. It's not completely without troubles. Homework assignments, deadlines, and painting a new sign for the building are all hurdles that our characters get to jump over. Sure, they're not as grandiose as, say, saving the world or anything, but for these characters, the challenges they face at first glance seem trivial to us. Like, we watch universes get thrown at people. Why is painting a sign that important? It's because it's important to them. That's the key. Watching Hidamari Sketch is a nice way to slow down and help you appreciate the simpler things. Now, that said, the show is, to a general extent, a comedy, and not all comedy works entirely. There are some running gags that become tiresome after a while, but for the most part the characters make the show funny, cute, and in some cases, rather clever. the thing that stood out the most about Hidamari Sketch's animation, to me, was how little there was. The most detail in the entire show is done with just the character designs themselves, and even then, large amounts of exaggeration are used not specifically for comedic effect, but just part of the general look of the series. Then, the backgrounds vary from just simple dots and shapes to actual photography that is spliced into the frame, like this is some kind of remake of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Now, normally, if any other show did this, I would lynch it. Well, actually, no, that is rather harsh, isn't it? I would just do the responsible thing. Watch one episode, and be like, nope, I'm done, and let it continue to do its own thing. But honestly, though, it didn't need to be more than this. It is memorable in its uniqueness. Sure, I could be one of those guys that just looks at a piece of art, and all it is a bunch of boxes on a canvas, and say something like, "This artist seems very angry, don't you think?" When in reality, it's just a bunch of boxes. But Hidamari Sketch is a really simple show, so why give it complex animation? What is this, Nichijou? Now, as for the music, since there's no dub for me to judge, it reminds me a lot of Yotsuba Ann's Kurikorda Pop Orchestra. Another way to describe it would be to say that it is a soundtrack full of elevator music, or at least something with the same similar tone to it. Now, I would say that it would be a waste to have any of this music actually used as elevator music. Mainly because elevator trips don't actually last that long, and you really should just listen to it. Just sit down and listen to it before continuing on doing whatever it is you were doing. Like, seriously, let's just sit down and listen to some of this, just for a quick second. So who's this show for? Well, I would say it's for most people. We all, at least I like to think that we all, have these just moments of lethargy where we just want to sit and relax. We just want to chill for a while, and a nice easy-paced show like Hidamari Sketch is just what the doctor ordered. I realize that I'm not a doctor, so take that as you will. Now, some of the problems with the show, if you want to call them that, would be the rather interesting style of animation, or in some cases, the lack of animation. Like, sure, it is part of its charm, but I also don't give it massive points just because it's trying to be artistic, which is ironic considering all the main characters are art students. Ha! The humor also can be really hit or miss depending on A, your sense of humor, and B, how much you can take more or less the same joke repeated every once in a while for effect. Now, the pluses are, firstly, the upbeat and relaxed tone of everything. How the characters act, interact, and of course, the peaceful music played over top. There's nothing in the show that is, oh my god, that was amazing! And I wouldn't say it's one of those shows that you have to go out now and pick up. But if you happen to be able to watch it and are in a relaxed mood, I would recommend it. And so, with all that in mind, I've meticulously calculated values for the categories of story, characters, animation, sound, and my own personal enjoyment, which, after absolutely nothing. Too lazy. Oh well, whatever. I award Hidamari Sketch with an overall score of 6.5 out of 10, and a recommendation to stream it rather than buy. The downside of this recommendation is that at the time of this video, you actually can't stream Hidamari Sketch anywhere legally, which is a bit of a shame, really. However, it has been licensed and is available on DVD from Sentai Filmworks. For ultimate anime recommendations, I point you towards the also rather relaxing series known as Aria the Animation. And if you want more of a comedy schoolgirl feeling, then there is no better recommendation than Azumanga Daioh. Between these two, you should hopefully find something to your liking. And that's it from me. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the video, follow me on Twitter if you feel so inclined, and until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and others, stay frosty.